All right. Are we live? Yeah, we are live. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Um, Obviously, Yankees going up against the Red Sox without our captain today. This will be the fourth straight game without Aaron Judge. Obviously, the big injury news that dropped yesterday, and we'll get into that in here in a second. But first, let's talk about the game and get over the box score. I want to talk about Anthony Volpe and Caballero, the situation going on there, which makes no sense in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a 3-game set versus the Red Sox. Obviously, the Red Sox are not playing the way we anticipated they would to start the season. But nonetheless, man, we're short, man. We're short without Aaron Judge, so I expect a good series. There's always a good series whenever Boston's in town. And Sonny Gray, we already know the situation between Sonny Gray and the Yankees. The shit talking he's done over the years, and when he when the Red Sox acquired him, he was talking smack too. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he pitches. Right, it's gonna be interesting to see. But first, let's look at the lineups. Excuse me. Ooh. Let's go ahead and look at the lineup here. Okay, right. So the way that if you're looking at your screen right now, you see the lineups, and to the right of the lineups, you see the stats and also the stats versus the starting pitchers. So um not a lot of at bats for the Red Sox versus Ryan Weathers. Being he came from the Marlins, a National League guy, but the Yankees are very familiar with Sonny Gray. Trent Grisham, 4 for 7. That makes sense, right? Hopefully he can continue his success versus Sonny Gray. He's batting 571 versus Sonny Gray. Ben Rice is 1 for 2 with the home run. Paul Goldschmidt, I'll let you guys look at that. But the biggest thing here that makes no sense to me, let me hide this so you can see the bottom of the lineup. The bottom of the lineup, my goodness gracious. And why is Anthony Volpe starting over Caballero? That's what I want to know. Like, why the hell is Anthony Volpe, who is 0 for 5 versus Sonny Gray with 5 strikeouts, why is he starting over Caballero at short? It doesn't make any sense. And I want to go ahead and show you something. Caballero is 4 for 7, I believe, versus Sonny Gray, and I'll pull that up here in a second. Let me pull this up here. Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know what's the love affair between the Yankees and Volpe. And look, and I say this for the millionth time. It's not a knock against Volpe, but he has not earned the right to be the starting shortstop over Caballero. Caballero needs to play every day. When Caballero went on the IL, right? When they forced him, because remind you, let's remember, they forced him. He didn't want to go on the IL. He just had a fractured finger. He said that he can play through it. They forced him to go on the IL. And when they did that, Aaron Boone went on national TV in his press conferences that he does. And when they asked him, will Caballero be the starting shortstop when he gets off the 10-day IL? And he said yes. He's not losing his job. Caballero is the starting shortstop. And he reneged on that because as soon as Anthony Volpe came up in, had a good 5 games, all of a sudden he's the starting shortstop all of a sudden. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. They need to really look, and I don't it's too early to be swearing, but it's messed up, right? It's effed up. It's effed up what they're doing to Caballero. And I'm sure he's not happy. I mean, if you ask him, he's gonna tell you, well, I just want to do whatever it takes to help the team. Bullshit, man. He wants to play. And he deserves to play. He earned it. He earned it. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up his stats here versus Sonny Gray, if I can figure this thing out here. What am I doing here? Okay, Caballero, where are you, Caballero? Man, well, we'll get to it. But look, the bottom point is The bottom of the lineup here, Spencer Jones. Hopefully, look, he's obviously just got the call up with Aaron Judge's injury. So I mean, he's gonna have to step up. This is his chance right here. This is his chance to make his mark and become a big leaguer. But being his first day back, I'm not gonna expect too much off of him. But man, Anthony Volpe, Ryan McMahon, Austin Wells, and then it turns over into Trent Grisham. So it's not a man. Without judging this lineup, man, it looks scary. It looks scary, man. Whoever pulled up José Caballero, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I was trying to pull up his stats versus Sonny Gray, but I got it right here. Okay, I'm gonna pull up. Let's see if it pulls up. No, that's not what I wanted on. Oh well. Yeah, well, anyway, he's 4 for 7 versus the dude. And but for whatever reason, they didn't put him in the lineup. And it's crazy because for somebody like Boone Boone loves talking about, well, this guy, I saw a lane with this guy and I saw a lane for Cabby. He has good numbers versus Sonny Gray. For somebody who's always playing the fucking number game, why is Anthony Volpe, who's 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts versus Sonny Gray in the lineup when Caballero's batting like 700 versus the dude? I don't know. Make it make sense, guys. I'm not liking, like I don't like the direction that this team is going in right now. This team is going in, but nonetheless, it is what it is. It's going to be a fun series versus Boston. Always is. They always play us tough. We play them tough. The rivalry, though, is not what it used to be. It's still the Yankees versus Red Sox, right? So we're gonna enjoy that. Okay, let's move on to the next topic here. I mean, the biggest topic right here. Aaron Judge fractured rib, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks minimum. I mean, it's crazy because after we was hearing all that thoracic outlet syndrome stuff and everything, but people were really freaking out, right? I saw all the tweets, read all the comments, and people were really freaking out. And I was just like, let's just wait and see. Because I was like, look, most likely they probably just sending them over there just to rule it out, just to make sure it's not that. Sure enough, it wasn't that. That's the absolute worst case scenario if he would have got diagnosed with that thoracic outlet syndrome. That was worst case scenario, right? It's still bad though, right? Because we're not gonna have the best hitter in baseball for 2 months, maybe more, right? So what this means is in 4 to 6 weeks they're gonna reevaluate him, probably take some more X-rays, and then we go from there. The good thing is that we have time on our side right now. Not a lot of time, because we're first week of June, but we have a couple of months that we can let Aaron Judge heal and be back for the playoff run and for the playoff run in October. But here's the thing, right? This team still has to freaking put us in a position where we are contending come September, October. Because it makes no sense, right? If we fall off the face of the map, right? And we go ahead and freaking, I don't know, fall 10 games out of the playoff spot or something, then it makes no point of bringing Aaron Judge back at that point. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this team is good enough to at least be playoff contenders without Aaron Judge. And then hopefully he comes back towards the end of the season and and he's 100% healthy, being the Aaron Judge we all know and love, and we freaking make a run and do our thing. Now, with that being said, they're going to have to make some acquisitions because you got to freaking, like someone said the other day, Judge is a 9-WAR player. How do you make up for that? Right? You can't make up for that with one other player. Definitely not. I tell you what, This bottom of the lineup here, that Volpe, McMahon, Wells, that has to change. That cannot stay that way for the duration of Aaron Judge's IL stint. That has to change. Either the names have to change or those numbers better change, and they got to change for the better. Because if not, man, we're gonna be in a world of trouble. We got to make up for the offense. The pitching we know is pretty good. It's gonna be good enough, but that offense, I don't know, right? Let's pull up this real quick, and then we'll get into some of the chats. Right, that was Jack Curry when he broke the news. That's how the first tweet that I read about it. All right, so this is Talking Yanks. They tweeted this earlier, and this is what Judge said today. He said, "I don't like talking timetables. That stuff's all made up, so you never know what's going to happen." I mean, I don't know what you. Let me know what you take from that. Me personally, that's not the answer I want from Aaron Judge. I was hoping his answer would be like, "Hey, man, I expect to come back this season and you know, and make a playoff push." But yeah, that's what he said when he was asked when he believes he'll come back, right? And this is the supposed play that he hurt himself on. I know everybody thought it happened on May 3rd versus the Orioles, but it turns out it wasn't. This is the suspected play that broke the captain's rib.
Shallow right. Judge dives, can't make the play. But Chisholm did and fires the second.
He did land hard there. Let's watch that again.
Shallow right. Judge dives, can't make the play. But Chisholm did and fires the second for the double.
Yeah, I don't know, guys, man. I think when I'm looking at that, I can't see how. I've seen him make crazier plays. I think what made it worse for him is trying to play through it, because it's a stress fracture, right? That's what the diagnosis was, a stress fracture. A stress fracture usually, right, if you have especially like in your shins or something, it usually happens when you keep repeatedly putting stress on that bone or that part of the body. So maybe it was something that initially it was probably a bruise, but him trying to swing through it and trying to play through it, it probably actually caused a stress fracture. I don't know that, obviously. I'm just speculating, but look, in this situation right now, especially, and then last year the same thing happened towards the end of the season when he hurt his elbow or whatever. Man, Judge, look, he ain't no spring chicken, and it's time where he's gonna have to start DHing a lot more, and it's hard to do that with Giancarlo Stanton. It really is, and this is one of those times. I love Big G, but this is one of those times where you're like, man, it'd be nice to have that free DH spot. Now, when when he got hurt, Big G was already hurt, so the DH spot was open. He could have played a lot more DH and let it rest a little bit, even though the location of it, his upper rib, swinging probably doesn't help. I don't know. I think going forward, he's gonna have to play DH a little bit more. Like, plain and simple. Plain and simple. But let's get to some of the chats and then we'll move on. Let me see where we at. Okay. Man. Stephen B says Trent Grisham should be at 7. Volpe should be at AAA. Volpe should be at AAA. I don't like the way the logo's on top of the text there. Anyway, the Yankees like Wells' defense and working through it at the plate in the big leagues. I think a demotion for weeks will do wonders for Wells. Demotion, look, let me tell you something, man. I think he can get him out of here. I'm to the point with these guys with Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells. Look, it's over. Like, they're not good, guys. What are we gonna do? Especially, look, Volpe. He's going on year 4. This is year 4. If he can't figure it out by now, Like, come on, dude. That experiment's done. It's over with. We've had plenty of sample size that we know, like, hey, and that's not to say that he might go to another team and do better. I don't know that, right? I know for the New York Yankees, he is not it, right? Same thing with Austin Wells. This is his third year, Austin Wells, and he's not cutting it. He's just not cutting it. He hasn't made the adjustment, right? He hasn't made the adjustment. The league figured out his weakness and exploited it, and he hasn't made the adjustment, and he looks lost sometimes out there at the plate. I think he's still, he's gonna run into a few every now and then because he's a strong dude. But other than that, man, I don't. I'm ready to move on from these guys. I think it's past due. It is. It's over. Says the Guardian fans are calling the Yankees frauds, and their announcers are pointing out that Jazz is batting 239, questioning how he could even. Yeah, I know. I heard. Yeah, how you batting 230 and you're on the Jimmy Fallon show? But over the last month, he's batted what, like 400 or 380 or something like that. If my thing was with Jazz, right? And this, look, I'm a Jazz fan, but I'm ready to move on from him too, personally, because like he's very streaky, and it seems like the colder months he can't play well. He said it out his own mouth. He doesn't play well. He doesn't like the cold. He don't like playing in the cold. And guess what, man? You're in the Northeast, and in October it gets cold sometimes in New York. So I don't know, man. Hopefully he can continue to play well because we're gonna need it right now. Over the last month, he's been lights out though, Jazz, man. You got to give him that. Over the last month, he's been nails. But again, with these next couple months, man, this is a real test for this team. We're gonna find out what this team is really made of. Without Aaron Judge in the lineup, this is when we're gonna find out really what this lineup is construction, how it's constructed. Because me personally, I hear the comparisons to 2023. I hear them, right? I don't agree though, because in 2023 we didn't have as strong a team outside of Aaron Judge that we have now. But over the next you know, the next month or two, if the Yankees, if we pull another 2023 and just go to shit, then it's real telling, man. On it's gonna be a stain, a black eye on Cashman, on Boone, on everybody, really, man, in that organization, because they're gonna, the narrative is gonna be that, look, Aaron Judge is. And I agree though. He for many years he's the one who's held this team up. The team didn't make the playoffs unless he was healthy. But this year I think they could still make the playoffs without Aaron Judge. All right. And that's what I'm banking on, man. I'm hoping that. I'm hoping that by the time he comes back, and I'm hoping that he does make a comeback, maybe, late August, early September, whatever it is, when he comes back, I hope the Yankees are in first place, or at least competing for a division at that point, and then we'll take it from there. The boy Wonder says, Jay, my brother Elias, yup, Elias, man. The Ming, yeah. But every team deals with injuries, yeah. But this is a big injury. Ace, man, what's good, Ace? The swoon is real. I was watching something on TikTok. That's what one of the beat writers was saying. Yeah. Let's see what else you guys talking about. JK says, sorry the Yankees can't beat good teams regardless of whether it's June. These guys aren't getting anywhere. No, I mean, look, it's hard to argue that because the record right now is like 3-9 versus good teams, or 4-9. It ain't good, right? But I do think that this team can. I think this team can at least look for the next 2 months. All we got to do is tread water. That's all we got to do for the next 2 to 3 months. We just got to hang in there, But we got to get better too. Like, look, right now too. And I know a lot of people not gonna agree with this, especially the Cashman defenders and the people. Look, his ass is on the hot seat right now. I mean, it should have always been, but like now we putting his feet to the fire. Really, now we holding his feet to the fire and saying, "Okay, Cashman, what are you gonna do?" You know, What are you gonna do? Your crutch, Aaron Judge, because this team's been leaning on this dude for many years. He's out. What are you gonna do? This team, I think, as it stands right now, I think the team is decent enough to contend, right? But man, I'm gonna pull up this lineup again. Pull this shit up. I think it's pulling up, or maybe not. Oh shoot, it's getting slow. Yeah, man. This the bottom of this lineup. You see that there? That can't be. That's not good. That is not good, man. Ben Rice, Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, and then starts getting ugly. Jazz, though, he's been playing better. Spencer Jones, look, we're gonna give him a pass for like today. He gets a pass for the next few days. But outside of that, man, when you go to the bottom of the line, Anthony Volpe, Ryan McMahon, Austin Wells, and then it turns over to Trent Grisham. Guys, that's unsustainable. It just is. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Either Cashman needs to fix this, or these guys need to start fucking playing better, man. Because that is not gonna, it's not gonna fly. And it's gonna, I'm telling you, now all the flaws on this team and on the offense, the flaws of this offense, oh, they're really gonna stand out now. Without a Judge, they're really gonna stand out. So let's get it done, man. That's what I say. Let's get it done. They crushed their best pitchers. Yeah, but I'm not too negative. Everybody has a bad start. Yeah, one start with Cam, and that doesn't really mean nothing, man. I mean, it's not good. It's not what you want. And Cam getting hit and Garrett Cole getting hit, that's gonna happen throughout the season. That's gonna happen, man. It just happened against the Guardians, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I don't think that means the Guardians are better than the Yankees. I don't think that's the case right now. Maybe without Judge, I don't know. Even then, I don't think they're better than the Yankees. It's crazy saying that because they just beat us 2 out of 3. But I think overall, over the course of 162, or if we had to play like a 7-game series versus them, I don't think they're better than us. And we got to find other ways to score. That's the thing too. Like, you're gonna have to start stealing bags and finding ways to produce offense. When he plays the good teams and they collect data and he still owns them, I'll call him an ace. Yeah, I mean, look, right now with Cam Schlittler, he's still young, guys. Like, he's played a third of a season and he's been phenomenal, right? So I'm not I don't call him an ace, right? He's one of the aces of the team. I need to see him do it for a complete season and then some. But he's nails too. I have a lot of confidence. I think he could do it, but he's thinking something and potential and all that. That's one thing. Actually going out there and doing it is different. So we got a lot of baseball to play, guys. Look, we're only a little more than a third through the season, right? That's like 100 games left still. It's a long season, a very long season. So I'm not gonna jump the gun on anybody. I'm not getting too high at anybody, anything like that. But what do you guys think about the whole? Let me put this up here. I don't have a thing for that. What do you guys think about the whole trade? Now with the injury, right? A lot of trade stuff is coming up. Obviously Turk Skubal, that's the big name right there. Jeff Passan had put something out. Let me see if I got it here. I should have it. What in the world? Jeff Passan had put something out about the Turk Skubal being the best fit for the Yankees would be acquiring Turk Skubal or something like that. Even though we have arguably one of the best rotations in the league, the whole Turk Skubal thing to me is it's risky. I don't think the Yankees will do it. It's too risky. It's gonna cost. I'll put this up here. Oh no, it's not working. Yeah, it's gonna cost too much, and he's hurt right now. We don't even know what's coming. He had a surgery done on him that's never been done. Like the scuba scope or whatever you want to call it. Who knows what he's gonna be when he comes back, right? Um, I think that he's gonna be great in the future, but I think upon return, he just had a surgery that we're not familiar with. Um, that's probably never been done. He's gonna return to the mound the quickest that anybody's ever done with loose bodies in the elbow and all that stuff. So that's not saying, look, it could work out. He could come back and be lights out for the rest of the season, or he could come back and not be and try, you know, not be his best version of himself. And do you want to take a chance on that on a rental that you might not even get the best 2 months of him? That's the thing, right? Because if we trade for him, essentially, you got to think. I'm talking about Turk Scuba here. If we trade for Turk Scuba, essentially, that's like a 2 month rental, right? That's a 2 month rental. And he's coming off an injury on top of that, coming off a surgery. So you might not even get him for his prime, the best of him. So I don't think it's worth it. Look, it'd be nice, right, to look at a rotation and see Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, Tarek Skubal, right? That'd be fucking insane. But I don't think that's the direction that we need to go, and I don't think that's the direction that the Yankees will go. Now a lot of talk has been about Isaac Paredes, right? Another guy everybody's talking about. Why is nothing working for me right now? Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, Isaac Paredes, he's a high strikeout guy, but I get why they like him, especially with McMahon not doing much of anything right now. But look, to me personally, I'm not over the moon. He's not my dream choice either, though. Isaac Paredes. I get it that it's a move that can be done, and it is a little upgrade. It is a little bit of an upgrade, but it's not that much of an upgrade to me personally. It's not that much of an upgrade. So I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna pull up his Savant so we can look at that. All right. Um, yeah, I mean, you guys tell me what you guys think. Me personally, I don't want a low average guy. I get it that that's the way the league is now, but I don't want a low average guy. I don't. So our hit percentage, barrel percentage, it's not great. Exit like his Savant ain't the prettiest, man. It really isn't. It ain't the prettiest. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the chat, man. You guys willing to go after Paredes? Is that somebody you guys want? And then you got let me pull up Ali Rushman real quick. It's another guy, but the thing with Ali, I don't think the Yankees are actually gonna go. I mean, yeah, I don't think the Orioles are actually gonna trade this guy, man. And if they do, it's not gonna be to the Yankees. That's what I think, personally. Okay, so I'm not convinced as you are. Yeah. Miss Chocolate, what's up? Says Yankees are flat without Judge. 2023 rang a bell. I think we better than 2023 though. I think we better than 2023, personally. Why is this not coming up? Hold on a second. Emotional damage. Yeah. There we go. They're pretty cooked without him for sure, depending on how long he's out for. 10-day IL is a given, but 60 days. What's funny? Like, I said it the other day. You guys, I was like, dude, this is gonna be a 60-day IL at least, but hopefully that's it. I could do a 60-day IL without Judge, as long as he comes back healthy. And like I said, all we got to do for 60 days is tread water and just hang in there, compete. We got to compete. can't fall off the face of the earth either. Because if the Yankees, like, if we start playing freaking below 500 ball, then by the time he comes back, the damage would be done. You can't even, make up for it. But if we could tread water and still be in there, still be in the running, or in first place, that'd be even better. But if we could be in the running for the division and a wild card spot and all that, I think when Judge comes back by then, hopefully everybody's healthy. We will have Max Fried back, and hopefully, man, that's the optimistic plan. But and I'm gonna say this right now. I was talking to Ace too. Shout out to the Ace Avenue, man. I was talking to him earlier over text about this. Or was it anyway? This is we go through this shit every single year. This is what the Yankees front office is gonna do, right? We're gonna start getting close to the deadline. Us as Yankee fans, we're gonna be like, make a trade. Where's the trade? We need a freaking trade, right? As Yankee fans, that's what we're gonna be saying. We gotta make a trade. We need to do something. What's going on? We can't just let this be. And they're gonna say, well, we have Judge coming back, and that's like a trade in itself right there. We have Fried coming back, and that's like acquiring something. That's like a trade in itself there. And I'm here to tell you guys, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that this year, man. We're not falling for that no more. As a fan base, we're not dumb. Okay, that is not a trade. That is not an acquisition, right? You literally, you're just going back to square one. You're right back where you started, right? So don't let them fool you and let them make you believe. And some other content creators are going to say this too, and I'm going to say it out there right now. And if you in your feelings, then hey, that's on you. A lot of people are going to say, well, we don't need to make a trade because getting Judge back is like making the ultimate trade, or getting Max Fried back is making the ultimate trade, or getting Clark Schmidt back is again. No, it's not. All that is going right back to where you were before. That's all that is. So we're not falling for that bullshit no more. Get better, okay? Get better. Because even before we knew Judge's injury, even before we knew Judge was hurt, we had obvious problems in this team, and every team got problems, right? But how do you address them? So start addressing them. Start addressing them. That's what I say. Yeah. We need to bring back Giovanni Cruz. Look, bring back Giovanni Cruz. Bring back freaking bring up Carlos Lagrange. Do it all. What are we waiting for? Do it now. I would, start. I'd rather if that's the plan, because it seems like that's the plan. That's why they got Lagrange in the bullpen right now. If that's the plan, then just let him learn on the job, man. On the job training. Bring them up here now. All right, bring them up here now so we could work out the kinks, so they could start working with Matt Blake and figuring how to come out the bullpen in the major leagues, and how to pitch, period, in the major leagues. Let them start doing that now, so we don't have to try to figure this shit out in September. I say I'll do it. By the way, too, Trent Grisham is tradable. It crossed my mind this morning. I know because he had a qualifying offer. I think he wasn't tradable until June. So we're in June now. He's tradable. Will they do it? I don't know. I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't. I'm just putting it out there. He's on the table. He should be anyway. He definitely should be. Let's pull up Ali Rushman here. Ali Rushman, 1.8 WAR this season. You know what? I'm not even going to look at this season. I want to look at last year. Obviously, he didn't have a good year last year. Okay, let me pull this up. 2025, 1.2. He didn't have a terrible season, but it wasn't his kind of season. Go back to 2026. All right, so he's batting 256 and 168 at bats, only 7 home runs. He's man, he'll be a dream, man. I'm not gonna lie. If the Yankees could somehow land him, that sh- that changes a lot, man. That's a big trade. That'll impact this team immediately. Immediate impact with him on this team. But the thing is, the Orioles are not even that far out. First of all, right? So I don't think they'll do it because they're not that far out. Let me put up the standings here. Yeah, they're only yeah, they're not out of it at all. They're only 3 games under 500. 8 games out of first place though, but only 3 games under 500. And the way the American League is looking, yeah, they could be. They're in the running for a wild spot, a wild card spot. They could be. They could be. They're not there yet, but they could be. So I don't think they're ready to start trading away pieces like that. But if you can make that happen, you make it happen. I know a lot of people wanted was Ryan Jeffers. He's hurt. So I don't know if you want to take that chance with the guy, trade for a guy who's actively on the IL. So yeah, I'm not sure if you want to do that either. And there's not many more options out there, to be honest. If you could think of one, let me know. Not many more options. What we got here? Yeah, let me go back to the teams. Okay. You know what? Let me see something with Ali Rushman again. I want to look at his contract. Okay. He is all right. So he's going to be a free agent in 2028. So if a team does acquire this guy, I should have moved this. What is it on my face? Anyway, if they do acquire him, you only have him for the rest of this season and 2027. Um, he's playing pretty good, so his arbitration is going to go up. He's probably going to go from like 7.2 to 10 million. So you can assume that he's going to make 10 to 12 million next year, and that's a bargain for him, obviously. And then he reaches free agency in 2028. So that's what I'm saying. Like a guy like this, the Orioles don't necessarily have to trade him, and especially right now, I don't know. I don't know if they do it. I don't know. I'm not sure. They did sign that other guy and gave him a long contract. Where is he? I forgot his name. Consuelo or whatever. Basalo. There you go. They did kind of commit to this dude, though. Here's the thing. Let me hide this. They did commit to this guy right here, Samuel Basalo, and they gave him a nice extension because he had a really good year last year. But Ali Rushman, he's playing back to his normal self. This dude is batting 276 right now. So they got 2 good catchers right now. 2 really good catchers. So they could afford to give up one. They really could. This guy, though, they gave him money. So it makes you think that they signed him to a long-term deal. So Ali Rushman, at some point they're gonna get rid of him. Knowing how the Orioles operate, they gotta get rid of him. Um, Will they trade it to the Yankees, their division rivals? That's another story. But yeah, after they gave this guy a big term contract, they gave this dude whatever it is, 80 million, 78 million. Yeah, they're locked in with this dude. They made their decision between him and Ali Rushman. They made that decision last year when they signed this guy. So yeah, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, I'm not getting something's happening here. Chef, what's up, Chef? Uh, yeah, my chat broke on me. I don't know what's going on now. I don't see anything. All right, I'm not gonna highlight anything, but I'll read them out. Jacob's listening on the way to work, on the way home from work. Appreciate you, man. Stephen B says, I don't want Astros. I'd rather see us bring up LeBron Jr. to see what he has and when he is ready. Or you could go that route, right? You could bring up George Lombard Jr. The thing is, man, then you have a problem. Like, what are you gonna do with Ryan McMahon? At that point, the Yankees will have to really make a decision. Like, are we gonna part ways with this? You got to make room for these guys. That's the thing. You can't just bring them up here. You got to make room. There's got to be room. So some people got to get. I look. Me personally, I think that Volpe's got to find his way. Either unless he starts playing lights out, right? He's got to get sent back down. He's got to get sent back down. And if you do want to make a move like Lombard or something like that, then a guy like Schumann is on the hook. Um, you got to find ways to make roster spots for these guys. Um, or you could DFA McMahon, but I don't see that happening. I just don't. $60 million. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Personally, I don't. Let me restart this. All right. Man, my program that I made is failing me right now. This is in beta though, like the chat stuff that I'm doing. All this is in beta. Yeah, JK says he don't think they're ever gonna replace McMahon. I don't think so either. Not right now. And to be honest, man, like McMahon still has value. He does have value, but it's just not. It's not much. And if you can get better there, you get better. I think catcher is more important than third base right now. The catcher position is more important than the third base position. That needs to be addressed ASAP. They can't continue like that. So I think that's what they'll try to do first. And then the bullpen, we could bring up a Cruz or Giovanni Cruz or Lagrange, but I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket either. They still got to go out there and acquire some arms, some decent arms. Definitely got to do that. And the Yankees just got to start DFAing. If you got to like get rid of people, get rid of them, man. For real. Like, that's what they got to start doing. Stop holding on to some of these dudes that are just dead weight. I get it. You're paying these guys a lot of money, but shit, man, you got to win. We want to win. That's the most important thing. So sometimes you got to eat some of that money. That's just how it is. Sometimes you got to just cut your losses and say, look, it is what it is, and move on. And they, for some reason, they don't like doing that though. They don't like doing that. I'm trying to fix something behind the scenes right now. Oh man, what is happening? What is happening? Let me stop this. I have to reopen this thing. Yeah, but what else? What else is out there? What else is new? True guys, man. I think a lot of doom and gloomers right now are coming out, man, and just counting the Yankees out. I'm not one of them. I think that we I'm not saying we're gonna be all right because this is a tough one, but I think that they can do it. I think that we can still do it. Does the season ain't over? Definitely not over. Definitely not over. Okay, yeah, we back on now. Steven says facts. Yep, definitely facts. Let me pull up Caballero here. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, I got the stats right here. Pull this thing up. All right, Jose Caballero versus Sonny Gray is all right. 3 for 7. I said 4 for 7. He's 3 for 7. Right, 0 strikeouts. Anthony Volpe again is 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Yet Volpe gets the start and Caballero rides the bench. It's just the way they're doing this man dirty. For real. They're doing this, and then look, and again, it's nothing personal against Volpe, but to me, he's just not good. He's just what Look, he's not and I'm not saying Caballero's freaking Shohei Ohtani either, but he's better. We saw this already. He's better than him. Like, what are we doing, man? Really, this is the shit that pisses me off. Like, I can't no more. You gotta move him. You do. You just gotta make the tough decision and rip the band over and say, look, kid, you're not good enough. It's crazy though, because every time I say something like that about a player, watch him go like 4 for 4 today. And then everybody's gonna be like, Volpe's the best. And then he's gonna fall off again. He's too streaky, man. This is a guy that, he'll have a hot 2 weeks and everybody will be freaking glazing him again, and then just fall off. We've seen this so many. How do as fans, guys, right? And like, this is some real shit right here. I'm gonna say, as fans, how do we keep falling for the same shit, man, over and over and over? Really, like, I see it over and over and over again. I'm like, dude, okay. Like, when he first came, they were like, well, oh, what are you gonna say now? I'm like, bro, he had a good 10 days. What about the 3 years that were bad, bro? Like, we seen this already. We know this story. He gets rested. He might come off for All-Star, whatever it is. He might have a good 10 days and then turn to shit again. I'm done with it, man. They need to move on from this guy, man. For real. I thought we was over this. When they left him down there in the minors and some of the moves the Yankees were making early on, everybody was like, wow, this is different. This is a team that looks like they're there's a sense of urgency in the 2026 Yankees. There's a sense of urgency. Boone ain't fucking around no more. Cashman ain't messing around no more. And it was good. And we're like, yes, they're finally making decisions, finally making sense, doing the right moves, making the right choices, whether it's hard or not. It's the right choice, the right decision. And they just reverted. We just reverted completely back to just where we're just, we're just going to play with blind faith towards certain players for no reason when they haven't earned it. And I don't care what anybody says. And I see like Michael K. I was watching him earlier, and I agree with a lot of things he said. I don't agree with a lot of things he says, but he's like always been apologetic to the Yankees front office, especially. You cannot tell me that Anthony Volpe has earned the right to be the starting shortstop over Caballero. And now if you ask Boone, Boone says, well, nobody is the starting shortstop right now. It's just kind of, they're just going to, play it by feel and see, who's hot and who's not. Bullshit. Volpe has played shortstop way more than Caballero has since Caballero's come off the IL. The IL that they forced him to go on. He didn't even want to go on the IL. Since he's come back from the IL, he has not been the starting shortstop. Like they said it came out. Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm like, look, if you say something, you got to stick by your word, man. Stand on your business. Your word is your bond, right? Isn't that an old saying? Boone said that Caballero is the starting shortstop. This does not mean that he's losing his role. And they just literally reverted. They just act like they didn't say that, and all of a sudden, Volpe's a shortstop again. It's just, it ain't right. And it's not good for the team. That's the whole thing. Like, I don't think he's better. Now look, if Volpe comes out here and starts fucking going crazy and everything, and yeah, but I'm telling you, man, me personally, from what I've seen, I don't see any different. Yeah, he had a good series versus the Mets, and their pitching was trash, and he had 9 walks, and he had Austin Wells batting behind him, who sucks. So they were like, we'll walk Anthony Volpe all day and pitch to Austin Wells, and that's it. And that's how his on base percentage is so high and 50 ABs. But that's not enough a sample size to say this guy is it. He's not, bro. The last couple games I've seen him really look bad behind the plate. And I'm gonna pull up his stats, right? Yeah. JK says they lied too, which I expect from them. Yeah, they lied, bro. It's like these people, they can't even keep their own word. And in all fairness, though, Cashman did say, right, when in the beginning of the season when Caballero wasn't playing very well, Cashman did say, well, the plan is for sure for Volpe to come back and be the everyday shortstop. Like that's always been the plan. But then it changed, and it was clear that the Caballero is the better player. And it was clear, and it is still clear. And he was the best shortstop defensively in the entire league. You have the best shortstop in the entire league defensively. Granted, it's only a few months, right? Or maybe not the best, maybe at least top two defensive shortstops. You have him playing right field, bro. What are we doing, man? Come on. Like when the Yankees do shit like this, I can't take him serious. And I was a big believer, and I still am. I believe in this team. But sometimes the way that the management, the decisions they make, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. You know? Someone pulled up Joey Gallo. This dude. Who did that? Oh, Sunil. It gotta be Sunil. Sunil, you about to get blocked from the stat privileges. Anyway, let me put this out. So what's up? Sunil says Aaron Boone is the starting manager to be saying all of this. Yeah. Volpe. What am I doing here? Volpe is a liability at shortstop. Time to trade him. You lost the locker room. If you say, yo, man, Stephen B, bro, I gotta have you nailed it, bro. You nailed it. You see, man, you fucking nailed it, Stephen B. You lose the locker room when your manager comes out there and said, you lose the locker room when you force a player to go on the IL. Because remember, they forced him to go on. He literally said it in the postgame. Like, he's like, I'm not happy on going on. I don't want to go on the IL, but okay, 10 days and that's it. They forced him to go on the IL. And you went out and said, you told him and you told the world that this doesn't mean that he's going to lose his job. When he comes off the IL, he's going right back to being the everyday shortstop. And then you completely, in 10 days, you forgot you said that shit. You lose a locker room like that. You think other players ain't seen that? You think the other players who are not in with the good old boys, you think they see that and they feel well about shit like that? You think like Dominguez sees something like that, or a guy like, Rosario, even though they like Rosario a lot, but even Rosario looks at them, he's probably like, yo, bro, these people, they shady, They shady. They got their favorites. Certain people are invited to the barbecue and certain people aren't. That's how it is with the Yankees, man. Fucking favoritism. I did that for people to see what Spencer Jones is about to turn into. Nah, Sunil. Don't come over here with all this negativity, man. And now, I'm going to push back though, Sunil. I'm going to play devil's advocate because, even a guy like Murakami was the same thing with the Spencer Jones or guys with high strikeout rates and stuff like that, but big time power. And even though he's hurt right now, he's found success so far in the big leagues. I'm not going to say that he's going to be Joey Gallo, because Joey Gallo, the difference is Joey Gallo was a head case. Joey Gallo was a nut, bro. This dude was he had severe anxiety. He was like a schizophrenic. He was a fucking nut, man. This guy used to be tweaking in the freaking dugout. Yeah, he was not built for this. I'm not saying Spencer Jones is or isn't, but he seems more like laid back and more chill, man, than Gallo. Gallo was freaking, that dude was strung out on freaking tobacco or something, man. He was not all there. Definitely not all there. And another thing with Gallo, right? And it's funny you bring that, and I'm just remembering now. I remember when Gallo was on the Yankees and they were like, yo, what's going on? And somebody asked him, I forgot who it was, a beat reporter. They said, like, "Why don't you change your approach? Are you open to changing your approach?" And he was like, "No, like nothing's wrong with my approach." And he was like real cocky with it. And yeah, and he became, you know, a fan favorite. Like a favorite to hate. That's what I mean. He became the favorite player that we love to hate. Oh shit, what am I doing here? Guys, I am messing up big time behind the scenes. All right. Um, okay. I guarantee you Jones goes over 4 today. I mean, he might. Look, I'm not saying he's gonna be good. I'm not saying he's gonna be bad, but my goodness, bro, let's give the guy a shot, bro. Let's give him a chance. We got to right now and hope that it works out because we need it, brother. We need it bad. So let's give him a shot. Let's give him a shot. I'm glad, I'm happy for him that he's getting a shot. Look, I'm gonna pull him up here. Obviously he doesn't have much MLB experience, and everybody knows the high strike. All right, we got it. We know that. But right now, we need to make up for some of this office, some of this power that we lose without Aaron Judge. And look, and another thing is this too, and this goes for Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells. But Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells was different because Anthony Volpe's on his 4th year and Austin Wells is on his 3rd year. So they had their shot, right? We know that this is who they are. Spencer Jones hasn't had that shot, but these are all first round draft picks, guys. These are all Yankees first round draft picks. A lot of money has been given to these guys. Just the signing bonuses alone for each one of them. And look, I don't know. I mean, I could look it up right now, but it's got to be like 5+ million, 5 million or better for each one of these players just to sign after being drafted. And then all the trades that we could have had but didn't do because we believed in these guys and stuff like that. So a lot is what I'm saying all that to say this. A lot has been invested into these guys. These guys are first round draft picks. They're gonna get every opportunity to succeed, right? And that goes for any organization, right? Any organization, you're a first round draft pick and a lot of money went into you, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get more opportunities than another guy who's a 17th round guy or 7th round guy. Like they ready to cut ways with you. There's no money invested in you. So, but Volpe and Wells, they got their shot. They stink. Jones, let's give him a chance. Guys, let's see what he got, bro. Let's see it. Finally, right? We've been waiting for years, guys. For years. And now you guys want to come and bash the dude? Now we're gonna go and bash the dude, and everybody for years, the same people that say, "Oh, he's gonna go 0 for 4, he's gonna do all this," have been saying he's untradeable. So if he was untradeable for all these years as a Yankees prospect, and now he's fucking here. So let's go. Let's see what you got. And if he sucks, I'll be the first person to say trade him. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been saying trade him since he was in high A. I was like, let's get what we can get. Because that's just how to me, prospects are suspects. I don't believe in any of them until they get here. Certain ones I have more love for, and I think, I'm more high on. I'm not gonna lie. Like a guy like Lombard Jr., I'm more high on him. But even him, for the right person, I would trade him in a heartbeat because we don't know what these guys are gonna be. We don't. But Jones is here now, man. Give him a shot, man. Don't knock on the guy like that. Where's the shoot? All right. Jones needs to showing up. He's not a contact bat. We don't need another K machine in the lineup. Yeah, but this is who he is, man. Like, hopefully he can figure it out. It's tough to just, man, it's easy. Look, if you never play baseball, it's easy to say you got to shorten up your swing. You got to do this. You got to look. It's not that easy, man. It's not that easy when it takes time to make a significant adjustment like that. I mean, it's tough, man. It just is. Let's give him a shot, bro. All right, let's establish a timeline for Spencer Jones. Let's establish how long are we gonna give him? How much of a leash are we gonna give him before we say get him the F out of here? Like we're saying with Wells and Volpe right now. A lot of us are. How long, right? Wells got 3 years, so he's going on 3 years. He's going on 4 years. Volpe, how long? Can we at least give him 2 months? Can we give him at least the duration of Aaron Judge's absence? Let's do that for Spencer Jones. Give him 2 months to see if he can do it, right? Because it's either him or who else, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, we could sit here and say, "Oh, he sucks and he's gonna strike out 1,000 times." Okay, but it's either him unless Jason Dominguez comes back soon, right? And hopefully he will be back soon. But right now, it's Spencer Jones. That's who we got, bro. That's it. You know, unless you want to see Schumann out there every day, I'd rather give Spencer Jones a shot, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Jason O says they can't be good teams. They're not winning a championship. I don't think they can either. But the hope is that by the time we get there, the roster is better. That's my hope. Right? That's my hope. Jones needs to play every day to give him a real chance. This is his chance, man. This is his shot. He's getting his shot. The first time he came up, that was kind of just a cup of coffee. Now he has a feel for it. Like, he got the jitters out the way of making his MLB debut. He knows the clubbies by now. He knows the clubbies. He's got a place where he can stay in New York, and he probably figured out the train system and whatever it is, right? Hopefully he's a little more comfortable when he comes up here and fills in. Like we're never gonna fill Aaron Judge's shoes, man. But if we could fill at least one of them, man, or a little bit, we need it, bro. Look, right now, guys, we desperately need somebody to step up and hope. Maybe it could be Spencer Jones. Maybe it's Trent Grisham, right? Maybe he's going to earn that qualifying offer finally. Or maybe it's Ben Rice. Ben Rice has been doing enough, but we need somebody else to step up big time. Big time. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be a little patient on Jones. Look, I'm going to be patient with him because, no, don't get me wrong. Look, if he goes out here in the next 2 months and just strikes out at a 50% clip, I'm gonna be like, okay, like we probably need to see more of Max Schumann or get Dominguez in here. Let's see what he's doing. But I give him time, man. Like, give him a chance. Let's give him a chance, bro. And if it don't work out, hey, bye. Look, bye. I'm not married to any of these dudes, these prospects. I mean, man, New York is a tough fan base, man. Yo, I'm gonna be real. Like, that's why, man, I'm gonna bring back the receipts from you. I got it. I don't have it on right now. The receipts, because I'm telling you, a lot of the same people who's bashing this dude were saying you cannot trade him 3 years ago. He's untradeable. And the same thing right now, a lot of people are saying George Lombard Jr. is untradeable. Now, I bet you if he doesn't pan out to be freaking what everybody's hoping that he can be, people are gonna be like, oh, he ain't shit. Trade him. Like, come on, bro. Like, can't have it both ways either. Not right away, Now if you have 3 bad years, right? Like Ben Rice, for instance, his first year, right? Obviously, he had the 3 home run game. That was a big game. But then he struggled. And a lot of people were through it. A lot of people were like, get rid of him. And he figured out, like, let's be a little bit patient. Jay Snow, when Dominguez comes up, Jones won't play. And I'm cool with that. If they give Dominguez a shot over Jones, they should give Jones a legit shot, and they should give Dominguez a legit shot. But Dominguez has had more of a chance, Dominguez, I think, could still be good too. But these guys, they need they got to get a legitimate shot, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't play him every third day and expect them to do it. And then you can't hold these guys. So this is the thing is, man, you can't hold certain players to certain standards and other players not to those same standards, right? I get it. Certain veterans, they're privy to certain things. Veterans, right? I'm talking about the Goldschmidts, the Bellingers, those guys, right? But with young guys, i.e. Volpe, Wells, Peraza when he was here, Cabrera when he was up here, all these young guys, Spencer, Dominguez, all these young guys, you can't treat one better than the other, you know? Unless he's playing, unless he's really playing his ass off, then by all means, but you can't favor one guy and not in over the other. I'm telling you, because they don't say it in public, they won't say, but I'm sure behind closed doors and in those private group chats and when they talking to each other, they're like, man, it's bullshit, man. Like this motherfucker has not earned his spot. You know, he's not earned it. They got to do it. We got two good hitters in this lineup. Goldie's all right, man. I think today we're gonna, man. Look, all right. Let's do that, man. Let's start, man. We got like 30 more minutes. Let's start talking predictions, man. Who you think is hitting a home run? I'm gonna pull up the box score. Who you think is who you think's hitting a home run for the Yankees? I'm gonna go Spencer Jones. I think Trent Grisham and Spencer Jones is gonna hit one. I'm gonna go Trent Grisham and Spencer Jones. Lock me in there. I'm gonna make a predictions. I have one made too where I can store everybody's predictions and then come back to it later, but I don't feel like pulling it up and messing with it right now. Stephen B says no one's hitting a home run. Damn, dude. It's Sonny Gray, bro. Sonny Gray is good, but he ain't freaking. He ain't Shohei Ohtani good. You know. Shout out to Shohei too, man. That dude's pitching his ass off right now. Who do you think's hitting a home run, guys? Let me know in the chat who's hitting a home run. Look, Trent Grisham, Spencer Jones. They both hitting home runs. Book it. Jay Snow says they got a clean house. Boom, Cashman, Fishman. We never winning with those guys. You know what, Jay Snow, man? I've been saying that for years too. But shit, they not going nowhere, man. So I gotta hope that we can, you know. I gotta hope that we will. Because if not, then what's the point, man? What's the point? No, Cabby is crazy. Exactly, man. Cabby ain't in the lineup. He's not the shortstop no more. Get used to it, brother. Caballero is officially the utility guy for some reason. I don't know why. Look, I don't look. I don't like to bash players and stuff because these guys are way better than I would ever be. I can never do what these guys do, right? But as a fan, just as a fan and a critic and somebody who's talking about the game and watching these games, man, when I look at the bottom three there, especially Wells and Volpe, man, get him the fuck out of here, man. Enough is enough, bro. These guys are not good, man. McMahon too, but I get it because you're giving him 16 million and he has elite defense, right? There's nothing elite on Volpe or Wells. Nothing elite, you know? Like let's part ways. Same thing with Grisham. Nothing elite, but he got a high price tag on him. So that's gonna keep him around longer than other people. But man, we gotta do something, man. Or these guys gotta step up quick. And I'm talking about quick, man. Quick. And then Boone too. Look, Boone pissed me off because I was really put this away for a second. I really fell for it, man. The beginning of the season, I really thought that he would change. That he's like, yo, he's like, this is it. Like he's gonna freaking do shit his way or the highway. I really thought that they were making decisions with a sense of urgency. Like, yo, we gotta win now. It's now or never. And they fooled me, man, because not even 2 months into the season, they go right back to the same stuff. Right back to the same stuff, man. Crazy. Crazy, man. The analytics, right? These guys who love the analytics, Caballero is literally a 500 hitter versus, granted, small sample size, Caballero's a 500 hitter versus tonight's pitcher, Sonny Gray, and Volpe is 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Yet he gets the start. I mean, guys, just like I'm not a baseball savant. I'm not gonna act like I know more baseball than Aaron Boone because obviously he knows more baseball. He's forgotten more baseball than I can ever know. But my goodness, man, like that shit don't make no sense to me. Like, what is the reason? I need one of the reporters out there to ask him that. Like, hey, what went into your decision making process when you decided to put this player who's terrible, who has never had success versus this pitcher, to play him over a guy who's had plenty of success versus the pitcher? Just curious. So Neil says NBA Finals Game 2 predictions. You know what? I forgot about that. That means that I have to change for the Knicks in honor of the Knicks. We're gonna change this. What am I doing? In honor of the Knicks, we got to change this to what's the Knicks? Oh, here we go. Yeah, New York Knicks. Change that to that. He says NBA Finals Game 2 prediction. I'm going bold here. New York Knicks again win by two digits, and back to the mecca of 2-0. That's crazy, man. That'd be. I hope so. I hope so. Stupid. So he said, "Why analytics like Kenny can replace Aaron Boone?" You know, Stephen B. And I hope I'm wrong. Like, the thing is, like, as a fan, right? Because I don't care. Like, if they don't get me wrong, if they go out here tonight and play really good, I'm gonna be happy. You know, I'm not rooting for these guys to be bad. I just know that I've been watching this for these guys, and I'm talking about Volpe and Wells specifically for the past 3-4 years. Both of these guys, and they haven't been good, man. They haven't been good, and I was hoping that we just move on, you know, and try something new. Yeah, and not only that, Kelvin, the numbers back up. Caballero should be the starter. Caballero's 3 for 7 versus this dude. You know, Anthony Volpe is 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. So like, what? That's what I'm saying. What's the decision process? Or like, what went into that? That don't make no sense. And then I'm sure he'll have it. He'll be like, well, I was thinking I can bring in Caballero later, and it opens up a lane for this and for that. Like, stop trying to be cute. How about you just put the best 9 out there instead of trying to be cute? How about we just put the best 9 players out there? That's simple. The best 9 players. And as a matter of fact, and do the lineup the same way. Stop trying to be cute and just put the best 9 players in fucking order from the best to the worst. Let's see how that works, you know? Instead of trying to reinvent the fucking wheel, man. And I'm cursing. See, this is what this team does to me. I'm too invested. I'm too invested in this team, man. This is what this does to me. It gets me. I've been trying to be better with the swearing, trying not to swear as much. I'm trying to live holy, guys. And this team be pulling me. They be pulling me to the dark side sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Donnie Clark, my goodness, brother, man. I haven't seen you in a long time, Donnie. Shout out to you, man, and thank you for your service as always. Imagine the Yankees traded for Scooble. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put some. The thing with Scooby is too risky, man. He's coming off of a surgery that's never really been done before, and you know he's a rental, and he's a Scott Boras rental, and it's just a lot of there's a lot of negativity riding with that dude. Like, you got to be real desperate, I think, to get him, because he is. Look, don't get me wrong though. If he comes back off his injury and pitches like Scooble, even for the last 2 months of the season, then shit, that's a huge, huge boost. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about this guy. But I want to play this. Let's see if this plays.
The Los Angeles Dodgers started exercise yesterday with the Dodgers. What kind of package could they put together for him?
The best package. And I think it's really what everyone else is trying to match. So I went with
The Los Angeles Dodgers started exercise yesterday with the Dodgers. What kind of package could they put together for him?
I don't know what's going on with this. Hold on, guys. Let me fix this shit. Okay. Anyway, it's not coming up, but I had a whole thing about this dude that I was working on. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway. Oh, I know what's going on. Let's put this. Let me hide this for you. Go ahead and shoot this up. Yeah, I forgot I made this. Yeah, and then we'll play this. Let's play this here.
The Los Angeles Dodgers started exercise yesterday with the Dodgers. What kind of package could they put together for him?
The best package, and I think it's really what everyone else is trying to match. So I went with two names that I think are very much in a very strong standing among analysts. Mike Sirota is a fascinating player that lifts the ball really hard in the air. I think the Tigers are looking for close to major league talent in some capacity. So in all these trades, I'm trying to get an arm in there and some kind of close to major league bat. River Ryan sits 97 with 5 pitches down to AAA, absolutely carving up dudes. The Dodgers don't even need him because the rotation is so good. So the thing for me is no matter what the Tigers front office fields in terms of offers, they have to go back to the Dodgers and let them counter because the Dodgers have a bunch of outfield prospects. They have José Caballero, Zahir Hope, they have James Tibbs, they have Adam Sernowski. They have so much talent that they can give up those two names. Here's DePaula right here. It's just an absolute electric prospect. They are going to hold DePaula, I think. Zahir Hope right here is a guy that's maybe in the same ilk as a Mike Sirota, who you're seeing right here. But I think you go Sirota, you go River Ryan, and you go, this is it. Give us Tarek Skubal, and I think that the Tigers, if you get to the deadline, they would say yes on this.
Okay, so it sounds like the Dodgers can just decide if they want to get Tarek Skubal.
Yes.
Because they just have so many young players. So if not the Dodgers, which team has the second best inventory?
Yeah, I think the Yankees are right up there. I don't know if they're number 2, but I'd say they're definitely.
My mic was muted. Yeah, I was saying that for the Yankees to go after Tarek Skubal, something bad is going to have to happen, in my opinion. And by bad, I mean like something like Cam is going to have to get hurt or Garrett Cole. God forbid, right? This is not like I don't. Obviously, we don't want this, but I think barring something like that happening, the Yankees aren't going to really pursue this guy. Now when you can just go out and get him in the free agency market if you really want him, you know. Even that I don't think is gonna happen. My goodness, man, I'm dying. Ugh. Losing Judge is huge, but this isn't 2023 when Judge went down. No, I agree. That's what we was talking about, man. You got to rewind the thing we've been talking about. That I've been saying it for the past couple of days, man. Jason O says, I don't think this lineup is good. I don't think the lineup is great. I don't think it's terrible either. I think it's so this is the question you got to ask yourself, Jason O. Is this lineup good enough? Now, not to win it all, right? Obviously, we know it's not. Is it good enough to just keep us in there until Judge gets back or until we make a trade or maybe Spencer Jones freaking catch? Like, is it good enough until we get the backup that we need? You know, that's what we got to do right now. All this lineup got to do is hold the fort and just don't suck too bad. You know. Oh, my goodness, that's what we got to do. Yeah, I know my mic was muted, man. We good now. Yeah. My allergies, man. I got terrible allergies. Lalani resembles a young Ray. I forgot all about Lalani. He got a ways to go too. He's got a ways to go. Oh, wrong. Dev, how you doing? I'm doing good. Dev. How you doing, man? I hope you're good. I hope you're doing. I hope your health is good and your family's good and all that stuff, man. Me myself, man, I've been dealing with some health stuff, man, behind the scenes too. And sometimes I don't like. I don't know. Sometimes I struggle to find the motivation to come on here and stream. Today, man, you know what really motivated me today is when I saw this lineup, and I saw that Caballero wasn't in it. That really just I was like, I'm streaming. I'm just when I turn on the camera, I was like, I don't care. Let's go. Because there's no freaking reason why Caballero's not in this lineup right now. But, you know, try explaining a lot of things the Yankees have done over the last, especially the last 10 years. Like the last 8 years have been just fucking crazy with this team. John the Beagle Dad, what's up? It's a cute dog. Dax Kilby is back on rehab assignment. Is an infielder in low A ranking. That's great, man. But man, low A, he's got a long, long way to go. You know, like that's why I mean, like sometimes I'll pay attention to some of these guys and stuff. But man, until they really start working their way up in the minors, man, it's really hard to say what they're gonna be or who they're gonna be. You know, and for me personally, I don't trust anything the Yankees tell me no more. You know, until I see it with my own eyes, I don't believe it. So they say, "Oh yeah, you know," even the whole thing with George Lombard Jr. Everybody's like, they're like, "Well, he's the next." Until I saw it with my own eyes, like, okay, this guy is good. I didn't believe it until he passed my eye test. I don't trust the Yankees. The Yankees will sell you a dream, bro. Every prospect in the minors to them, even though they might not believe this, but they will tell you that every prospect down there is freaking good, and they should, man. They're like used car salesmen, you know. And you got to buy, you know, sell the propaganda and hope that other teams bite into it too and make stupid trades. But I think a lot of teams know the Yankees are not that good. You know, I was talking to Ace earlier, the Ace Avenue, and I brought this up to him. I was like, man, you know, I get it when people fight back when they say the Yankees, when people fight back and it's because it's I've said here that the Yankees don't do good. They don't develop players well. And a lot of people are like, well, how can you say that? Look at Camp Schlittler. Look at this guy. And I'm like, yeah, that's 2 out of like a billion, right? And they came out of nowhere, these guys. But really, when was the last time we had like a top 5 prospect, you know, that we could trade like a top 5 all of MLB, you know? And not all, and then people are gonna say, well, we don't draft high, but not all of these guys who are top prospects are high draft picks either, or international signings, you know. A lot of them are not. They just somehow developed into that. So I don't think the Yankees are the worst in player development and in scouting, but they're definitely not the best, man. You know, when you got teams like, look at the Padres. The Padres always find it. Look, the Padres are always making trades for big time. The Padres are always trading top prospects in all of MLB. They're always trading. They always got top prospects somehow. How? Right? They're not getting the first overall draft pick every year either. So how are they finding a way to have top 30 and all the MLB prospects every single year, even though they're trading these guys away, and they still got them, you know? And the Yankees don't. Dodgers too. They got top 100 prospects all the time. So that's why, yeah, that's how I feel about all that stuff, man. Andrew, what's up, Andrew? The Yankees developed Jeter and Bernie. Yeah, well, we talking about in the last in we talking about in the 21st century, right? You talking about a whole nother century ago, bro. You talking about the 1900s. You talking about the 21st century here, man. Developed on the boxing bikini. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. But I say all that, but I'm not a doom and gloom guy, man. I love the team. I think this team is good, man. I think that we have a shot. If Judge could get healthy and come back at some point, Freed, same thing. If we can fix this situation, or if one of these guys could really start stepping up, and the same thing with the shortstop position. If we could figure that out, man, because this right now, this is this back and forth, and somebody. I thought we was done with this. I thought Caballero won the job, and that's it. He's the guy. Okay, now we yo-yoing fucking Caballero going back and forth. Like, what is it, dude? We got to figure this out, man. Okay, let's figure this shit out, and I think we'll be all right, man. I think we will. Yeah, man. Look, the Padres last year they had the number one prospect in all of baseball, and Leo DeVries or whatever this guy's name is, traded him for Mason Miller, right? Traded him for Mason Miller. And I haven't looked at the prospect list yet, but I guarantee you they have more. They have guys like in the top 50 that we don't. All right. Same thing with Juan Soto. They traded away all the top prospects. CJ Abrams, James Wood, right? All these guys are missing. They've been trading, they've been having top. I'm talking about, we're not even talking top 100. We're talking top 20, top 10 guys for years, and they always trade them, and they always get a Juan Soto. They get a Mason Miller. They get all these fucking guys that we are too scared to get, and then we be like, well, we don't have the prospects. Yeah, why don't you have the prospects? Because you're not developing them, and you're not scouting them right. You're not picking right. You're not, So there's a fundamental flaw in the system, man. There is, and I don't care what anybody says. There is, and you can say, well, we got Cam Schlitter, and we got that, and that's cool. Yeah, I give it to like we got Ben Rice, Cam Schlitter, and hopefully a lot of these other guys pan out. Right, it's gotten better, but when you look at other teams, and sometimes it sucks, man, because like they say, comparison is the killer of all joy. Comparison is the killer of all. Yeah, I don't have what you doing? Yeah, I don't have the face filters off. I'm not doing that no more. The face filters. Yeah, that's a wrap. No more face filters. But anyway, comparison is the killer of all joy. When you start looking at other teams' farm systems, you're like, damn. Like not all the, but certain other teams, and then you look at the Yankees, you're like, shit, man. Yeah, no wonder why they can trade for all of these guys every year. They can, you know, they can trade, make big time trades. We don't have big time prospects like that. Mm. So I'm not saying we're the worst. And there's a reason and look, our farm system was ranked at like freaking low. Like, man, look, I know what I'm talking about, bro. When you start looking at, there's a reason why we can't make these big trades and stuff for these top dudes. We don't have the players that they want, There is no face filters, man. No more face. No, all that shit is. Yeah, I'm not doing that no more. It's just, and the reason why I'm not doing the face filter, Stephen B, is because it's just a whole nother process that I have to do, and you know what I'm saying? There's a lot that goes into that to make that work and stuff, and it is very glitchy, and it's just I got frustrated with it. I don't want to do it no more. Danny Clark, they didn't want. That's the thing is they didn't want Jones or Lombard Jr. I don't think they did. Look, Spencer Jones and George Lombard Jr. are nowhere near right? Well, Lombard Jr. maybe now they were nowhere near what the Padres had, what the Padres gave to the A's. The Padres gave the A's the number one prospect in all of baseball, bro. You understand? Where Spencer Jones is not even in the top 100. And then Lombard Jr. is in the top 100, but he ain't even cracking the top 10. Maybe now, I'm talking about last year. So I don't care about Jones and Lombard Jr. when you have the number one prospect in all of baseball. That's like saying, like, who would you rather have? George Lombard Jr., Spencer Jones, or Connor Griffin from the Pirates? You know, it's different levels to this shit, man. It's like when you talking like that, man, George Lombard Jr. and Spencer Jones wasn't gonna get the deal done. They would have had to throw in way more. They would have had to give him cash, like big time name, because these guys are not even up there in the rankings of top prospects, man. We are sweeping the series. This is our World Series. That's what Red Sox fans are saying. And that's what the Mets are saying. So they don't care. The Mets are like, Met fans are like, we're good. We don't even care if they could lose every single game as long as they win a series versus us. Yeah, we have some high pitching prospects now. I'll give them that. It's getting good, man. But when you look at some other teams, man, what I'm saying is, look, we're not the worst. But man, as we're the Yankees, we should be better than what we are. I haven't looked at this in a minute, but I'm gonna pull it up right now. Yeah. So let me pull this up right here. Oh shoot, what am I doing? All right. Top 100. Look, this guy Leo DeVries, he's on the A's. This is what they gave up for Mason Miller, along with a whole bunch of other guys too. As look, the Dodgers have the 8th number of prospect. I think this guy got hurt though. Is that the guy that got hurt? I don't know. All right. George Lombard Jr. is the 19th overall prospect, and he just got up there though. You know, this is we talking about last year when they traded for Mason Miller. He wasn't really high up there, but that's good though. At least we got one. We got one. Right? We got one. Notice how you keep seeing the Dodgers. They don't draft high at all, but they do a better job at scouting and recruiting, I guess. Now the Dodgers, right? Okay, Elmer Rodriguez is 61. That's cool. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You got Dax Kill, but he's got a long way to go. He's on rookie ball. Carlos LaGrange. A lot of these guys just cracked it. LaGrange, I could see him shooting up this whole list, shooting on the top of this list. Yeah. I said all that to say, like, if I had a count right between let's see, if I put it by team, they don't show the wish they show the overall ranking. If I put it by team, I bet you the Dodgers have way more. The Padres have more. That's what I'm saying, man. We're not the worst, man, but there's a reason why we get outbid by teams like the Padres, like if we and these other teams. That's why we can't get these big trades, because other teams outbid us on them because they have more to give. They have more to give. You know? Yeah, Donnie, man. I agree with you. I think he could be the future closer. Hopefully, and by the future I mean like next month. I need it. I want LaGrange to be the closer on June 7th, in 3 days. You know, in 2 days. That's when I want him to be the closer. That's what I need. I'm gotta do something here real quick. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna drop a link because I'm about to get off. I'm gonna drop the link to my boy, the Ace Avenue, does the play-by-plays. Yeah, my favorite play-by-play, man, and I'm sure he's gonna be going off about the lineup too, man. I could just already, if I know him well enough, he's gonna have a lot to say today. I'm putting his link there. Make sure you're tuned. He's coming live in another 10 minutes or so. So I'm gonna be on for like another 5 minutes and then I'll jump off. Says I want Alvarez. Yeah, I could pull him up right now. You guys could pull up stats too. It's over. Just exclamation point. Yordan Alvarez Savant or whatever. Oh shit! What am I doing? Yeah, guys, you could pull up anybody's stats. Exclamation point, player's name, and you pull up their stat. Some of y'all who've been watching for a while, you guys know how to do it. But let me pull up Yordan Alvarez. Man, I don't have my glasses and I can't see. Isaac Paredes, Altuve. Where are you? There we go. First of all, I don't think that they're gonna trade Yordan Alvarez. I mean, they might, but they don't have to because this is his contract right here. He's man, it came out so small. He's got a long-term deal. Like they don't have to trade the dude. Who pulled up Adam? Oh, that's who you want? I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna pull up Yordan Alvarez. Yeah, his that is crazy, yo. He's maxed out on literally every offensive offensive category there. Yo, he is, man. That's the man. Him and Ben Rice to me, they're gonna be competing for him. The thing with Yordan, man, he has a history of injuries, but man, you can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that. That's a pretty savant right there. Real nice. The thing is with Yordan Alvarez, right? You get a guy like this. What do you do with Stanton when he comes back? What do you do with Judge? What if Judge comes back and Judge needs to be on the DH? Look, and I said it, if you tuned in from the beginning, from now on, from here on out, Judge needs to play a lot more DH. Okay? We cannot have this guy diving off around the field anymore. Getting here, he's 280 pounds, 6'7". He's 34 years old. Like, Judge is gonna need that DH. We can't bring on a guy like Yordan Alvarez to clog up the DH even more. Just can't do that, man. And I'm gonna play the supposed play that hurt Judge's rib when he broke his rib real quick. I played it earlier, but for those of you just joining.
Shallow right. Judge dives, can't make the play. But Cash Chisholm did and fires the second for the double.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. So that's it right there. DS Loyal. Damn, I'm feeling your avatar, man. That's fire. DS Loyal to no one says, I don't know if you remember, but I called it a couple weeks ago on your live and said Judge don't look right and hopefully is not hurt. And in fact, he was. Yeah, I think I do remember that, man. You didn't. There's somebody else. There was somebody else. I don't know if it was Derek from Pinstripe Territory. Somebody else, I can't remember. It was another content creator that I watch a lot, has said, man, something's right. Like he might be hurt because this is not, you can tell that he's like laboring, so he's just not the same. And yeah, so you called it, man. You called it. And then the fact that what bothers me though, and I'm glad you brought this up. The Yankees already knew this, right? We didn't know this, right? Because we the public, the fans, we know this. But the Yankees, they already knew that he was dealing with something for a couple weeks. They said it. He was dealing with an issue. He's been hurt for a couple weeks. And nobody stopped to say, hey, let's at least fucking get an X-ray. Let's go check this out. Let's get a day off. Let's put you at the DH spot since Stanton's on the IL. So that DH position is free. Let's put you DH for a little bit. Let's figure this out. You know, I don't think they only Judge, maybe for like the first day, maybe Judge was doing. I think that they knew that the whole organization, not the organization, but I think Boone, the trainers obviously, and I think they knew that he was dealing with something. And instead of saying, let's get this shit checked, they let it go on until the point where he was like, yo, I can't. It hurts too much. And it's a stress fracture. So that's what I was saying earlier. Stress fracture usually, like if you get like shin splints or something like that, it was a stress fracture. So usually that's from repeated just overuse stress on you know on your bone. And maybe I don't know, maybe it was a bone bruise or maybe it was something like that that turned into a fracture. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but the point is, man, I feel like they didn't handle the shit probably as well as they could have. That's a dumb management team right there. Mr. Snow. It's easy. Hey, hold on. Let me pull up something for you, Mr. Snow, since you brought that up. A dumb management team. As he's a Blue Jays fans, a Blue Jay fan. I just want to pull this up just to remind you, even though you're not out of it though, too. But just to remind you, you're 7.5 games behind the Yankees. Okay. So I wouldn't talk too much shit. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, the links in the description to if you scroll up to the Ace Avenue, if you want to go watch a play-by-play, go watch his play-by-play. He does a great job, man. That's my guy right there. But that's gonna do it for me, man. Have a great one. Let's go Yankees. And hey, look, game 4 without Judge, and this is the first game without Judge that we know he's not gonna be around for a while. So let's see who steps up. Let's see who steps up on this Yankees team. That being said, man, I appreciate you guys. Fuqua, appreciate you, man. Have a great day. Maybe I'll do a post game. We'll see. Maybe I'll do an open panel later. How about that, man? I'm going to see if I could do that. Depends on what the wife got planned. But have a great one, guys. Love you guys, man. Peace out. Peace.